first thing someone does when they stop loving you? It's not always slamming doors or yelling or asking for space. In fact, it's usually far more quiet. Something shifts, almost imperceptibly at first, and if you're not paying attention, you might miss the earliest signs, the very moments when their heart begins to pull away. While the words and routines stay exactly the same, this video is not about drama, not about accusations, and certainly not about guessing games. It's about clarity. Because when love fades, it often leaves a trail. A soft, subtle trail of behavior changes, emotional distance, and withheld connection that tells the real story, even when their lips don't. In this video, we're going to walk through 5 signs, subtle, but deeply telling, that often appear first when someone no longer loves you. These aren't wild guesses. They're based on real emotional patterns seen in long-term relationships, marriages, and close partnerships. By the end of this video, you'll have a clearer sense of what's real, what matters, and what your next step might be. Stay until the end, because one of these signs, one that often goes unnoticed, could shift how you view your relationship entirely. You deserve honesty, not just from others, but also from yourself. So let's take a closer look at how love, when it starts to leave, almost always knocks in the same quiet ways first. Sign 1, loss of curiosity. One of the first and quietest signs that someone no longer loves you is that they stop being curious about your world. Not long ago, they might have asked how your doctor's appointment went, what your grandkids are up to, or how you've been sleeping lately. But now they barely lift their eyes when you speak. They don't ask follow-up questions. They don't seem interested in the little stories that make up your day. That change isn't just about distraction or being busy. It's about emotional disconnection. Let me tell you about Edna and Paul, married for nearly 40 years. Edna used to tell Paul everything, how the roses were finally blooming again, what the neighbor's dog had done, how her book club was getting heated over a mystery novel. Paul used to listen. He'd laugh, nod, throw in a comment here or there. But somewhere along the line, that stopped. She'd start a story, and he'd barely look up from the television. He'd answer with a grunt or not at all. Edna felt it before she could name it, this heavy quiet between them. It wasn't just a lack of words. It was the absence of interest. When someone loves you, they lean into your world. They want to understand you, even in the smallest things. They remember your appointments. They care about what upsets you this morning. When that caring fades, they start to emotionally check out. And it doesn't usually come with anger. It comes with silence, a kind of emotional vacancy that leaves you feeling lonely, even in a shared room. And here's the truth. People don't stop asking because you're boring or because your stories have changed. They stop because they no longer feel emotionally invested. You become background noise instead of the main character in their day. That sounds harsh, but if you're starting to feel like your voice doesn't land anymore, it might be time to ask, when did they stop being curious about me? And why didn't I notice it sooner? Because when someone no longer loves you, they don't always say it, but they show it in what they no longer ask and what they no longer seem to care to hear. Sign 2, decreased patience. When someone's love begins to fade, their patience is often the first thing to go. The same things they used to smile at, laugh off, or gently correct suddenly seem to irritate them. You might be telling a story you've told before, or asking a simple question about the calendar or the groceries, and you're met with a sigh, a sharp tone, or that cold look that says, "Why are you bothering me?" What used to feel like understanding now feels like walking on eggshells. Take a moment and think about someone like Helen, 76 years old, who had always been a little forgetful. Her husband Richard used to tease her kindly about it. He'd help her find her glasses, or remind her for the 5th time where she left her phone. It was part of their rhythm. But then it shifted. Suddenly Richard was snapping at her. He'd mutter under his breath or roll his eyes. One day, when she asked for help logging into her online banking, he just said, "You need to figure it out yourself." Helen didn't forget that moment. Not because it was dramatic, but because it was so different from how he used to be. When someone is in love, they offer grace. They know your quirks, your habits, your weak spots, and they navigate them gently. But when love fades, even the smallest requests feel like demands to them. The shift is subtle, but powerful. Where there used to be understanding, there's now resistance. And it's not about what you did wrong. It's about how they've started pulling away emotionally, and patience is often the first thread that snaps. You might start second-guessing yourself. Am I being too needy? Am I asking too much? But the truth is, it's not about needing less, it's about how their willingness to show up for you has changed. They're no longer investing emotionally, and that shows up in the tone of their voice, the way they interrupt, the eye rolls you catch, even the heavy silence that follows a perfectly normal question. Don't ignore that shift. It's not just moodiness or stress. It could be a sign that their heart is no longer where it once was. And if you're constantly feeling like you're a bother instead of a partner, that's something you deserve to acknowledge. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Sign 3, lack of time together. When love begins to disappear, time starts to disappear with it. Not time in the sense of hours or days on a calendar, but the kind of time that feels shared, meaningful, and chosen. You'll notice that they stop making plans with you. Not because they're busy, but because they don't want to. They used to sit beside you during your favorite shows, or join you on the porch in the evening. Now they linger in other rooms. They leave the house more often without asking if you'd like to come. And when they do stay, their body is there, but their attention isn't. Think about someone like Ray, 68, who loved his morning routine with his wife Linda. For years, they'd sip coffee side by side at the kitchen table, talk about the weather, the news, or just sit in silence. It didn't matter what they said, it was about being there. But slowly that changed. Linda started waking up earlier and heading out for long walks alone. The coffee was already made, the table empty. She said she needed time for herself. Ray understood. Until it kept happening day after day, he started to feel like a guest in his own marriage. When someone loves you, they carve out time because time is a form of love. But when that love weakens, so does their desire to be close. And often they won't explain it. They'll say they're tired. They'll say they have errands. They'll say nothing at all. But the truth is, people make time for what matters to them. And if you keep finding yourself alone, even when they're in the same house, it might not be by accident. They stop inviting you to do small things. They don't ask what your day looks like. They start saying, you go ahead or I'll just stay here. And with each quiet decision, the distance grows. It doesn't take a big fight or a dramatic announcement. All it takes is enough mornings apart, enough dinners where you eat alone, enough nights when they fall asleep with their back turned. If you're feeling left behind in a relationship that once felt shared, don't ignore that feeling. Because when someone no longer loves you, the time they give you isn't reduced, it's removed. And that kind of silence speaks louder than words ever could. Sign 4, emotional withholding. There comes a point, often quietly, when someone stops, letting you in, not just into their day, but into their inner world. You used to hear their worries, their hopes, their thoughts about life or work or family, but now it feels like they're wearing a mask. They answer with surface-level comments. They say things like it's fine or don't worry about it, but you can tell something's different. Something's being kept behind closed doors. And the most unsettling part? You no longer feel like their safe place. Let's talk about someone like Gloria, 71. Her partner Samuel had always been open with her. He'd vent after a long phone call with his brother. He'd talk about his fears when his knee surgery was coming up. He even used to call her his best friend. But over the past year, that changed. When his cousin passed away, Gloria didn't find out until a week later. When she asked why he hadn't told her, he just said, "I didn't want to burden you." But she knew that wasn't the reason. It was easier for him to carry it alone than to invite her in. That shift doesn't happen overnight. But when someone no longer loves you, they start to close the emotional doors. They still talk, yes, but not about what matters. Not about what's real. You begin to feel like a roommate instead of a partner. The big decisions get made without you. The thoughts you used to share over dinner now sit quietly in their head. And you don't even know what's missing until you feel the distance growing. People don't just stop talking. They stop trusting you with their truth. And that hurts more than silence. Because it means they no longer see you as the person they turn to when life gets heavy or uncertain. They might still be kind, still do the dishes, still sit beside you in church. But the warmth is gone. The closeness is gone. And when you try to reach for it, when you ask what's wrong or try to connect, they pull back. Not always with anger, but with avoidance. They say, "I'm just tired," or "You wouldn't understand." But what they're really saying is, "I've already turned inward. I've already begun to disconnect." If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Sign 5, physical withdrawal. When emotional closeness begins to fade, the body often follows. You'll notice fewer hugs, less eye contact, no more lingering touches on the arm or a kiss on the forehead for no reason. Even sitting together on the couch starts to feel like two people sharing space, not connection. Physical closeness for many couples is where unspoken love is kept alive. So when that disappears, it doesn't just feel lonely, it feels like the love has physically stepped back. Think about Martin and Alice, married for 45 years. For most of their lives, they were naturally affectionate, holding hands during walks, rubbing each other's shoulders after a long day. Martin always used to pull Alice in for a quick kiss before bed. But after his retirement, something changed. He became quieter, more distant. He'd turn his back in bed. He'd shrug off her hand when she tried to rest it on his knee while watching television. He stopped initiating any kind of touch, and slowly Alice stopped reaching too. Not because she didn't love him, but because she didn't know where she stood anymore. Physical touch is a kind of language. It says, I'm here, I care, I still choose you. And when someone no longer loves you, they stop speaking that language. They avoid it. They pull away. They stop reaching for your hand in public. They flinch slightly when you lean in for a kiss. It's subtle, but it cuts deep. And the longer it goes on, the harder it is to bridge that gap. It's not about passion or romance, not always. It's about presence, reassurance. The feeling that, even in silence, you're still wanted. When that's gone, it's easy to question everything, to wonder if you've done something wrong. But often it isn't about what you did. It's about how they feel and how they no longer feel drawn to you, emotionally or physically. If you've noticed the warmth leaving the room when they walk in, or if your hugs feel more like polite gestures than genuine connection, it might be time to face what's no longer being said. Because when someone stops loving you, the body knows. And it starts showing you one distance at a time. Final thoughts. Now that you've heard these 5 signs, take a quiet moment to reflect. Maybe one of them stood out. Maybe all of them did. The important thing isn't just recognizing the signs, but recognizing what they mean for you. Because when love begins to fade, we often feel it in our gut before we see it in words or actions. And yet we second-guess ourselves. We minimize. We tell ourselves not to overreact. But the truth is, emotional distance always leaves clues through silence, avoidance, and a shrinking sense of being known. If you've felt that shift, if you've been wondering whether what you're experiencing is real, it likely is. And you're not imagining things. You're feeling the difference between being chosen and being tolerated. That's not something to ignore. That's something to explore with honesty, courage, and compassion for yourself and for the relationship. None of this means all love is gone or that things can't be repaired. But the first step is always seeing clearly. Because once you recognize the patterns, you can stop blaming yourself. You can stop carrying the weight of one-sided connection. And you can start asking the right questions. Do I feel emotionally safe here? Am I being treated with care? Do I still feel like I matter? Remember, your peace is just as important as anyone else's comfort. And while it may hurt to admit when someone's love is fading, it's far more painful to keep pretending it isn't. You deserve real love. The kind that shows up, leans in, stays curious. Ever wondered what life will feel like if you end up alone in old age? Many people don't think about it until it happens. When loved ones move away, friends pass on, and daily life becomes quieter than ever. The truth is, aging alone can be one of the most difficult experiences. But it doesn't have to be miserable. In fact, with the right mindset and daily habits, you can create a fulfilling and meaningful life even when you're on your own. In this video, we're going to talk about 6 essential things you must do every day if you find yourself growing older alone. These habits are not just about filling time, they are about staying mentally sharp, physically active, emotionally strong, and truly enjoying your days. The difference between loneliness and peaceful solitude often comes down to the small choices you make each day. If you want to avoid misery, regret, and emotional isolation, stay with me until the end. These 6 things might just transform the way you approach aging, helping you build a life that is rich, rewarding, and completely your own. Now let's get started. Number 1, establish a daily routine. Waking up without a plan for the day can leave you feeling lost, unmotivated, and disconnected from life. As you get older, having a structured daily routine is one of the most powerful ways to maintain a sense of purpose and direction. A routine is not about filling your day with meaningless tasks. It's about giving yourself a reason to get up in the morning, a sense of stability, and a rhythm that keeps life moving forward. One of the biggest mistakes people make when they grow Older is letting time slip away. Without work, family responsibilities, or social obligations, the days can blend into each other, making it easy to fall into boredom and isolation. But when you create a daily structure, you take control of your time rather than letting time control you. Your routine doesn't have to be rigid or complicated. It simply needs to include things that make you feel good. Keep your mind engaged and maintain a sense of balance. A strong morning routine is especially important. It sets the tone for the rest of the day. Getting up at the same time, making your bed, having a good breakfast, and spending time outside in the fresh air can do wonders for your mental and physical well-being. Take Robert, a 76-year-old retired engineer. After his wife passed away, he found himself waking up at odd hours, skipping meals and spending too much time sitting in front of the television. He felt like the days were slipping away and the loneliness was overwhelming. But after deciding to create a daily schedule, everything changed. He started waking up early, taking a short walk in the morning, cooking his own meals and scheduling phone calls with family members in the afternoon. His days became more structured, his mind felt clearer, and he no longer felt like he was simply waiting for time to pass. A routine keeps you grounded, especially when life feels uncertain or lonely. It eliminates the feeling of emptiness by ensuring that every day has a flow, a purpose, and a sense of movement. Even the simplest habits, such as watering the plants at a set time, listening to music in the evening, or journaling before bed, can bring a deep sense of comfort and normalcy. If you ever feel like the days are slipping away, or that life lacks structure, start small. Write down a morning routine. Plan your meals. Set aside time for hobbies or relaxation. The key is to make conscious decisions about how you spend your time, rather than letting life happen to you. A well-planned routine doesn't just fill your day, it gives your life a sense of order, meaning, and forward momentum. Number 2, prioritize physical movement. One of the biggest mistakes people make as they age is slowing down too much. While it's natural for the body to change over time, staying physically active is the closest thing to a fountain of youth. It's not just about looking fit. It's about keeping your body strong, your mind sharp, and your independence intact. When you stop moving, you start losing muscle, flexibility, and energy, which can lead to a decline in overall health. But here's the good news. You don't need to run marathons or lift heavy weights to stay active. Simple, consistent movement every day makes a world of difference. A short walk, gentle stretching, or even just standing up and moving around frequently can boost circulation, strengthen muscles, and keep your joints flexible. The goal is to keep your body engaged so that everyday activities like getting out of a chair, climbing stairs, or carrying groceries stay easy and effortless. Take Eleanor, a 78-year-old retired librarian. After retiring, she became less active, spending more time sitting and less time on her feet. At first, she didn't notice any changes, but over the years, simple tasks like bending down to pick something up or walking for long periods started feeling more difficult. She thought, I'm just getting old. But after joining a local walking group and starting light stretching every morning, she felt a difference almost immediately. Her energy improved, her posture got better, and she even started sleeping more soundly at night. Physical movement is a daily necessity, not an occasional activity. Even if you have limited mobility, there are always ways to stay active. Chair exercises, water aerobics, or even standing up and sitting down multiple times in a row can help keep your body strong and your blood flowing. The key is to make movement part of your routine, just like eating or sleeping. Another benefit? Exercise is one of the best ways to protect your brain. Studies have shown that physical activity can help reduce the risk of cognitive decline and dementia. When you move, you're not just strengthening your muscles, you're improving circulation to the brain, reducing stress, and keeping your mind engaged. If you've been inactive for a while, start small. A 5-minute walk, a few gentle stretches in the morning, a bit of light housework that keeps you on your feet. The key is to be consistent. The more you move, the easier it becomes, and before you know it, you'll feel stronger, healthier, and more energized every single day. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 3, stay socially engaged. One of the hardest parts of aging alone is the gradual loss of social connections. Friends move away, family members get busy with their own lives, and it becomes easier to spend more time alone. But isolation is one of the biggest threats to both mental and physical health. Studies have shown that loneliness can be just as harmful as smoking or obesity, increasing the risk of heart disease, depression, and even cognitive decline. The good news? You don't have to accept loneliness as part of aging. Staying socially engaged is a choice, and it's one of the most important daily habits you can develop. Even small social interactions, a short phone call, a conversation with a neighbor, or a friendly exchange at the grocery store can make a difference in your emotional well-being. Human connection is a fundamental need, and maintaining relationships should be just as much of a priority as eating well or staying active. Take Frank, an 80-year-old widower. After his wife passed away, he found himself spending more and more time alone, watching TV and waiting for the phone to ring. He told himself that his kids were busy, that his friends had their own lives, and that he didn't want to be a burden. But as the months passed, he started feeling more and more disconnected, and even the smallest tasks felt overwhelming. That all changed when he made the decision to reach out. He started calling an old friend once a week, joined a local senior group, and even signed up for an online chess club. Within a few months, he felt more alive, more engaged, and more connected than he had in years. Social engagement doesn't have to mean big events or large gatherings. It's about small, meaningful connections that remind you that you're part of something bigger. Whether it's sending a text message, inviting a friend for coffee, or joining a group that shares your interests, the key is to make socializing a daily habit. Even if you don't have close friends or family nearby, technology makes staying connected easier than ever. Video calls, online forums, and social media allow you to engage with others, no matter where you are. Many seniors have found that joining online communities gives them a sense of belonging, even if they aren't physically surrounded by people. The world is more connected than ever. You just have to be willing to take the first step. The truth is, loneliness isn't about being alone. It's about feeling disconnected. And the best way to fight that feeling is to make an effort to engage with the world every single day. The more you reach out, the easier it becomes. And before you know it, you'll have a network of people who bring joy, conversation, and purpose into your life. Number 4, keep your mind stimulated. One of the biggest mistakes people make as they age is letting their mind slow down along with their body. Many assume that cognitive decline is just a natural part of getting older, but in reality, your brain thrives on stimulation. Just like your muscles weaken without movement, your brain can lose sharpness if it's not actively engaged. The good news? You have the power to keep your mind strong, alert, and full of curiosity no matter your age. Keeping your brain active isn't about doing complicated puzzles or learning something overwhelming. It's about engaging in activities that challenge your thinking, introduce new ideas, and keep your curiosity alive. Reading, learning a new skill, playing strategy games, writing, or even having deep conversations are all ways to keep your mind sharp and your memory strong. Take Janet, a 74-year-old former teacher. After retiring, she found herself watching TV all day, feeling like her mind wasn't as sharp as it used to be. She noticed she was forgetting small things, where she left her keys, what she planned to buy at the store. Worried about losing her mental sharpness, she made a simple change. She started reading again, doing crossword puzzles in the morning, and taking an online class in Spanish. Within weeks, she felt a difference. Her focus improved, she felt more engaged, and she even had new things to talk about when she socialized. Your brain is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. One of the best ways to keep it active is to challenge yourself with something new. Learning an instrument, trying a new hobby, or even switching up your routine can force your brain to create new connections, keeping it flexible and resilient. And it's not just about mental sharpness. Engaging your brain also helps prevent feelings of boredom and depression. When you're learning, creating, or problem solving, you feel a sense of accomplishment. That sense of progress, no matter how small, gives you a reason to look forward to each day. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 5, practice gratitude and reflection. One of the most powerful things you can do every day to maintain a sense of peace and happiness is to practice gratitude. As we age, it's easy to focus on what we've lost: people, opportunities, youth, and even health. But shifting your focus to what you still have can completely transform your mindset. Gratitude isn't about ignoring life's challenges. It's about choosing to recognize the good that still exists, even in difficult times. The simple act of reflecting on what you're grateful for every day can boost your mood, reduce stress, and even improve your physical health. Studies have shown that people who regularly practice gratitude experience lower levels of depression and anxiety, sleep better, and feel a greater sense of purpose. And the best part? It's free, easy, and only takes a few minutes a day. Take George, a 79-year-old retired firefighter. After losing his wife, he found himself dwelling on the loneliness, replaying memories of the past, and feeling like life had lost its meaning. But everything changed when he started keeping a gratitude journal. Every morning, he wrote down 3 things he was thankful for, sometimes big things like his grandchildren's laughter, and sometimes small things like a warm cup of coffee. Over time, his perspective shifted. He still missed his wife, but instead of focusing on what he had lost, he began cherishing what he still had. Reflection is just as important as gratitude. Taking time each day to sit quietly, breathe deeply, and process your thoughts can help you feel more centered and at peace. Whether it's through prayer, meditation, or simply sitting outside and appreciating the world around you, daily reflection allows you to clear your mind, reduce stress, and focus on what truly matters. If you've never practiced gratitude before, start small. Each morning or evening, take a moment to think about 3 things that made you smile that day. Maybe it's a favorite song, a good meal, or a kind word from a stranger. The more you train your mind to focus on the good, the easier it becomes to find joy in everyday life. Life will always have challenges, but your happiness isn't about what happens to you. It's about how you choose to respond. Make gratitude and reflection a daily habit, and you'll find that even in solitude, you are never truly alone. Number 6, find a way to help others. One of the fastest ways to combat loneliness and bring meaning into your life is to help someone else. It might seem like an unusual piece of advice after all. When you're feeling down or isolated, your first instinct might be to focus on yourself. But the truth is, giving to others can be one of the most rewarding ways to find purpose and joy in your own life. Helping others doesn't have to mean big, life-changing gestures. It can be something as simple as checking in on a neighbor, volunteering in your community, mentoring a younger person, or even just offering a kind word to a stranger. The key is to make giving a daily habit, a way to connect with the world and remind yourself that you still have value, wisdom, and kindness to offer. Take Margaret, an 82-year-old former nurse. After retiring, she felt like she had lost her sense of purpose. Her children were grown, her social circle had gotten smaller, and she often spent days without much interaction. But instead of letting loneliness consume her, she decided to start volunteering at a local food bank. At first, it was just a few hours a week, but before long, she found herself looking forward to it every day. She made new friends, felt needed, and most importantly, found a new sense of fulfillment. The simple act of giving creates connection. It takes the focus off your own struggles and shifts it toward making a difference, no matter how small. Whether it's offering advice, lending a listening ear, or even just sharing a smile, helping others reminds you that you still matter. Even if you're physically limited, there are still ways to give. Writing letters to old friends, mentoring younger generations online, or simply being a source of encouragement for those around you are all ways to contribute. The act of giving fills your life with a sense of purpose, keeping your spirit alive and your heart full. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Final thoughts. As we wrap up this video, take a moment to reflect on these 6 daily habits. Aging alone doesn't mean living in loneliness. It's the small, intentional choices you make every day that determine whether you feel isolated or fulfilled. Whether it's establishing a routine, staying active, engaging socially, keeping your mind sharp, practicing gratitude, or giving to others, each of these habits has the power to transform your daily life into something meaningful, rich, and rewarding. The reality is we cannot always control our circumstances, but we can control how we respond to them. Life will always change and people will come and go, but your ability to create joy, purpose, and connection remains entirely in your hands. If you commit to these habits, you will find that being alone does not have to mean being lonely. You still have so much to offer, so much to enjoy, and so many reasons to embrace each day with hope. If today's video resonated with you, ask yourself, which of these 6 things can I start doing today? You don't have to change everything all at once. Even the smallest step in the right direction can create a ripple effect that changes your entire outlook on life. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to. Have you ever wondered why some women over 70 still seek men? It might surprise you, but for many, the desire for connection doesn't simply disappear with age. It transforms, deepens, and takes on a whole new meaning. In this video, we're uncovering 5 honest reasons why women over 70 continue to seek men, and what truly drives them in their later years. Whether it's about emotional connection, adventure, or simply feeling alive, these confessions may just change how you see relationships in your golden years. Stay tuned until the end, because as we go through each reason, you'll discover how aging doesn't mean giving up on excitement. It's about embracing a new kind of passion and fulfillment. And if you're someone who has ever wondered if love, companionship, or romance are still important at this stage of life, you're not alone. Now let's dive into these 5 revealing reasons why women over 70 still seek men. Number 1, the need for emotional connection. For many women over 70, companionship isn't just about having someone around. It's about finding a person who understands them on a deeper level. At this stage of life, they have lived through decades of experiences, from raising families to building careers, and they crave meaningful conversations with someone who truly listens. Unlike younger years, where relationships might have been built around raising children or financial stability, this phase is about emotional fulfillment. A simple shared cup of coffee in the morning, or a heartfelt talk before bed, can mean more than grand gestures. Some women who have lost a spouse or have been alone for years often miss the feeling of being truly seen and valued by someone who cares. A companion who remembers how they like their tea, who knows their favorite song, or who notices when they seem a little off. These small things hold immense value. Aging brings changes, and one of the biggest fears is feeling invisible. A strong emotional connection can be a powerful reminder that they still matter, that their thoughts, stories, and feelings are important. There's a reason why older women often choose partners based on emotional compatibility, rather than superficial traits. They've outgrown the need for fleeting attraction or surface-level charm. What they seek now is someone with whom they can be themselves, without pretenses or games. A man who makes them laugh, who listens without judgment, and who understands the weight of their memories, is far more attractive than someone who simply looks the part. Number 2, the desire for excitement and new experiences. Age might slow the body, but it doesn't dampen the spirit. Many women over 70 have spent decades prioritizing responsibilities, raising children, managing households, or maintaining careers. But once those chapters close, a new one begins. There's a natural yearning to experience life differently, to break free from routine, and to rediscover the joys they might have put on hold. This isn't about reckless adventure. It's about seeking fresh experiences that bring energy and fulfillment. For some, that excitement comes in the form of travel, trying new hobbies, or even simply meeting new people. But companionship plays a significant role in this. A new relationship can add an unexpected spark to life, a sense of youthful anticipation that many assume was behind them. Whether it's planning a weekend getaway, discovering a mutual passion, or even just sharing laughter over a spontaneous conversation, the presence of someone special makes everything feel more alive. And let's not forget, the desire for romance never truly fades. Some women find themselves drawn to relationships at this stage, not because they need stability, but because they want to experience love in a way that's free from the pressures of youth. It's no longer about financial security or raising a family. It's about connection, companionship, and the simple joy of knowing someone is genuinely excited to see them. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 3, emotional healing and second chances. Life has a way of teaching lessons, some gentle and others deeply painful. By the time a woman reaches her 70s, she's likely lived through heartbreak, loss, and moments of loneliness. Whether it was the end of a marriage, the passing of a partner, or simply years spent prioritizing others over herself, the desire to heal and move forward remains strong. Seeking a relationship at this stage isn't just about romance, it's about emotional renewal, rediscovering one's worth, and embracing the idea that love can happen at any age. Many women over 70 understand love differently than they did in their younger years. They no longer chase unrealistic ideals or get caught up in superficial expectations. Instead, they value companionship that feels effortless, honest, and emotionally fulfilling. They want someone who sees them not just for their past, but for the vibrant, intelligent, and deeply interesting person they are today. Some find themselves drawn to partners they would have overlooked in their younger years. Men who bring peace instead of drama, understanding instead of ego. And for those who never experienced a truly fulfilling relationship, before this time in life presents an opportunity to finally love, without constraints to prioritize happiness over obligation. It's not about recreating the past, but about building something meaningful in the present. For many, this stage is a chance to reclaim their narrative, to prove that love isn't something reserved for the young, but a lifelong experience that evolves with wisdom. A second chance at companionship isn't just about romance. It's about proving to themselves that they deserve happiness, no matter how much time has passed. Number 4, the need for intellectual and social stimulation. As the years pass, the need for deep, meaningful conversations and engaging interactions becomes more apparent. Many women over 70 find that they still crave intellectual stimulation, the kind that challenges their thoughts, sparks new ideas, and keeps their minds sharp. This isn't just about avoiding loneliness. It's about actively enriching their lives. Seeking companionship with a man often fulfills this need, offering the opportunity to exchange perspectives, debate ideas, and share stories that stretch across decades. Social interaction plays a significant role in overall well-being. Studies have shown that seniors who maintain strong social connections are healthier, happier, and even live longer than those who isolate themselves. The desire to meet someone new, whether through dating, friendship, or companionship, isn't just about romance. It's about staying mentally and emotionally engaged with the world. Having someone to talk to, laugh with, and explore life's big questions can make all the difference in how fulfilling the later years feel. For some women, seeking a relationship at this stage isn't about starting over. It's about continuing to grow. A partner can introduce them to new hobbies, challenge their perspectives, or even encourage them to travel to places they never considered. Having a companion means experiencing life through a fresh lens, breaking away from old routines, and embracing the excitement of discovery. The thrill of meeting someone who genuinely understands them, who shares similar life experiences, yet brings a unique perspective, is something many women still seek. They aren't looking for someone to complete them. They've already lived full, independent lives. What they want is a connection that adds depth, joy, and intellectual curiosity to their journey. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 5, the desire to feel valued and appreciated. One of the most profound human needs, regardless of age, is to feel valued. Women over 70 have spent their lives nurturing families, building careers, and contributing to their communities. While they are independent and self-sufficient, the feeling of being truly seen and appreciated by someone special never fades. A sincere compliment, a thoughtful gesture, or simply knowing that someone enjoys their company can make a world of difference. This isn't about seeking validation. It's about the natural desire for emotional warmth. Many women in their 70s have lived through relationships where their needs often came second to others. Now they want companionship that acknowledges their worth, respects their experiences, and cherishes who they are today. A relationship at this stage of life isn't about obligation or expectation. It's about mutual appreciation and the joy of sharing time with someone who genuinely cares. Feeling desired and admired isn't exclusive to youth. In fact, confidence, wisdom, and life experience make a woman even more captivating. A man who recognizes and celebrates these qualities stands out. He understands that beauty isn't just in appearance. It's in kindness, wisdom, and the way someone makes you feel. That's why many women continue to seek meaningful companionship well into their later years. They want someone who not only listens, but also values their thoughts, their humor, and their unique presence in the world. At the end of the day, it's not about age, it's about connection. Whether it's sharing a deep conversation over coffee, laughing about old memories, or feeling a sense of excitement when receiving a message from someone they care about, these small moments add richness to life. That's why so many women continue to seek companionship, not because they need it to survive, but because it makes life more fulfilling. Final thoughts. As we've explored today, the reasons why women over 70 continue seeking companionship go far beyond what many might assume. It's not just about avoiding loneliness, it's about embracing joy, keeping life exciting, and feeling truly valued. These women have lived full lives, experienced love and loss, And now they want connection on their own terms. They seek adventure, meaningful conversations, and a partner who sees them for who they are, not just who they used to be. If you've ever wondered why so many women in their 70s still open their hearts to new possibilities, the answer is simple: because they can and because they deserve to. Love, friendship, and emotional connection aren't just for the young. In fact, they become even more precious as the years go by. Whether it's a spark of romance, a deep friendship, or simply the joy of sharing a meal with someone special, the need for human connection never fades. So what do you think? Did any of these insights surprise you? Have you seen these qualities in yourself or someone you know? We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.